Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, my name is Sherrin. This is Arun. We're a doctor couple settled in the UK. Hope you're all well and keeping safe.
So today's video is all about the average living expenses in UK, or to be more specific, how much we spend as a family in UK every month.
So when we speak about living expenses in UK, it varies quite a bit according to where you choose to live. So if you live in London and other major cities like Birmingham, Manchester, it's going to cost you a little more than living in the other cities. It also varies according to the number of members in your family, if you have kids, depending on their age, if they're going to nursery or if they're going to school. So all that plays a major role in the expenses. So to make it easier, we have divided the expenses into different categories and we'll go through each of them.
So the first category we are going to talk is the housing expenses. So when you come to UK, you can either buy a house on a mortgage depending upon the circumstances, or you can rent a house. We managed to buy a house after 1 year, and we have a 4-bed detached house which cost us £1,100 on a mortgage. Along with the mortgage, we have other housing expenses, which includes the council tax which you have to pay every month, which comes around £195. Then we have the gas and electricity bill every month. It varies depending upon the season. For example, in summer it is less expensive compared to winter, so it comes around £100 to £200 per month. Then we have the water expenses, which comes around £50 per month.
So the monthly housing expenses or the accommodation expenses varies upon where you choose to live, what type of house you choose to live in, whether it's a flat, it's a detached house, a semi-detached house, whether you're living for sharing or not, or whether it's hospital accommodation or any other sort of accommodation. So all that kind of plays a role in the amount of money you spend monthly towards the housing expenses. So when we initially came, we lived in the hospital accommodation. So it was a 1-bedroom with a bathroom, and we used to pay about £600 per month, all inclusive. Then we moved out and we lived in a flat, which was a 2-bed flat, and for that we used to pay about £1,200 because it was in the outskirts of London. So that was costly, and that is why we moved towards the Midlands, where it is a little less expensive. So if you want to get an idea about the monthly rent or the house prices, there are a few websites like Zoopla and Rightmove, where you could put in the postcode and search for houses, the rent of the houses, the prices of the houses. So we'll put in a link down below if you want to check out.
The next expenses would be the transport expenses. So when we first came to UK, we were living in a hospital accommodation, so we didn't have a lot to travel. It was just in the walking distance. So and then we moved out and we had to buy a car, and we felt that was more convenient. So initially we were working in the same hospital and we were having the same shift, so we only needed one car. But when we entered GP training, we had different shifts, and then we had to buy another car. So when coming to the transport expenses, we spend around £1,200 per month, which includes a car loan, the car insurance, the tax, and the monthly fuel cost as well.
So if you manage to get an accommodation near to your place of work, then for the initial few months you can probably walk and save on the car expenses or transport expenses. But in long run, it's always better to buy a car because the public transport here is quite costly, whether it be buses, trains, taking a taxi, etc. So the next category of expenses are the insurances. Insurance is very important here, and you need to have, if you have a car, you need to have car insurance. If you're buying a house or mortgage, then it's important that you have a life insurance and the content insurance for the house. So when it comes to car insurance, there are a lot of factors which contribute to how much you pay towards a car insurance every month. So it could vary depending upon the type of car, how old the car is, your age, the place you live. So all that plays a role in the monthly car insurance value. So when we came initially, we used to pay about £2,000 every year towards a car insurance because we were new drivers here. We'd just taken our license, and now after about 5-6 years we pay about £600 to £700. So it could all vary depending upon a lot of factors. When it comes to life insurance, when we bought our house, our mortgage advisor asked us to take a life insurance because if something happens to us, then the mortgage of the house needs to be paid off. So then we had to take a life insurance, and we pay about £90 towards that every month. Then the next is home content insurance. So if there's a flooding or if there's a damage to your house or its contents, then this insurance is for that, and we pay about £25 towards the home content insurance. We can also insure specific things like laptop, televisions, gold, and things like that.
So then we have the broadband, telephone and entertainment expenses. So coming to the broadband, there are many providers in the UK, so you can choose according to your need and according to the price of every provider. So we pay around £50 for the broadband and landline connection. Then we have the entertainment expenses. So we subscribe Netflix, Prime and Disney. So we pay around £30 for all of those. Then we have the TV license, which you need to be paying if you're watching BBC or national television channels, which comes around £14. Then we have the mobile expenses. So we both have a mobile contract. So you can either have a SIM only contract or SIM and mobile contract. So we pay around £120 for 2 phones.
The next category of expenses are the professional expenses to maintain a registration as a doctor in UK. In order to work as a doctor in UK, you need to maintain a few registrations and pay a few membership fees. The first one is the General Medical Council registration. So we pay about £41 each towards the GMC registration monthly. As both of us are RCGP members, we have to pay a Royal College fees, which is about £35 for each of us, and it comes to about £70 per month. Then we are also members of the British Medical Association, which also has BMJ journal with it, and we pay about £28 per month for each of us. Then there's the indemnity insurance. Now, because I am in training, my hospital pays for my indemnity, and because Arun has finished training and is working as a GP, he has to pay for his own indemnity insurance, and that comes to about £35 per month. And if you are doing any locum jobs, even if you're in training, then for the locum jobs you have to pay specific indemnity insurance.
So the next category of expenses is groceries. So we as a family of 4 spend around £400 to £500 per month for groceries.
So the next category of expenses are the school and nursery expenses. So if your child is above 4 years, he or she will be eligible for school admission. The state school is free here. And if your child is less than 4 years old, and if you're sending them to nursery, then it costs about £50 to £60 per day. That is from 7:30 in the morning to 6:30 in the evening. And if they're older than 3 years, depending upon your circumstances, your salary, if both you and your partner is working, some people are eligible for about 30 hours of free childcare from age 3 to 4, but it all varies upon your circumstances.
So that's all about our average living expenses in a month. So it's quite difficult to give an exact figure, but you might have got an idea about how much we spend as a family of 4 in the UK per month.
So hope you have all got a general idea about the living expenses in UK. Hope this has helped, and until we see you again, take care. Bye bye.